What's up, YouTube? This is Kev Jones, one half of the Will and Kev Show, and I got something crazy for y'all today. I am going to make a full rig. Full rig. I'm not talking about part of a rig, some of a rig. I'm talking about a whole rig that I'm going to use to shoot a real film for a film festival for less than $500. Let's get to it. Before I start, don't forget to like us, subscribe to us, leave a comment. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I am going to shoot this video. Got a few months, so hey, come on y'all. Subscribe, and if you like this rig, comment below. So, I got this script, right? And I was like, ooh, I want to shoot this script. And I got a ton of equipment. I'm a equipment junkie, but I wanted to shoot something on the low, but I wanted to shoot it and make it look as professional as possible. Most people say, can't do that for under $500. Well, here's what I learned. And I've been at this for about 15 years. What I learned is if you take your time building your inventory of equipment, that you will 100% be able to get good equipment on the low. And I promise you that. So what I'm going to do is give you my 7 categories, what I purchased, why I purchased them, and then show you the receipts. That's right, y'all. I got receipts. Because I know you're going to be like, oh, that's not possible. I'm going to show you the website. I'm going to show you what I paid for it. Now, it doesn't include taxes and shipping. For a lot of reasons, right? One, my tax is different than your tax. But what I'm trying to make the point is, it's not about how much it costs retail. Because if you listen to the Will and Kev Show, we don't believe in retail anyway. What we do believe in is doing your research, being patient, and buying what will complete the job that you've set out to do. Guess what? Every project needs something different. Well, this project, I knew exactly what it needed. So let me get into it before I waste time just talking, right? So there were 7 areas of things that I needed. You with me? The first area was cameras. Now, most people will know that, right? Oh, you need 7 things. Absolutely. I need 7 things. First thing was a camera. The second thing I needed was lenses. But I couldn't get lenses until I got a camera. The third thing I need was stabilization. A lot of people leave that out of their initial equation. And yes, under $500, I'm going to show you how I got stabilization. Number 4 was audio. How can you shoot a good movie without good audio? We'll talk about that in a second. The next thing, I needed to power all of this stuff, right? So I needed to get power sources, batteries, whatever I needed for that. The next thing is I need memory storage. I needed to be able to record not only my video, but I needed to record my audio. And the final thing is I needed lights. I needed to be able to set the mood for my film. And I wondered, how can I do this? I could use natural lights, but I wanted to at least get a good light in place. So that's what I did. I'll tell you everything, breaking it down. First, 1, the camera. I had 3 cameras that I was going to go with. I'm using cameras I've used in the past. T2i, the GH2 by Lumix Panasonic, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. You can find a lot of those cheap. And if you wait and look hard enough, you can find some amazing deals. I didn't go with the T2i because I just feel like in post, the T2i footage just sometimes is kind of weak. It easily destroyed, and based on how I'm shooting and the corrections I needed to make, it didn't work for me. Plus, while you can get a ton of EF lenses, I was worried I wouldn't be able to get an EF lens in my budget that I liked. Shout out to Yongnuo, whatever the company is. They have some fake nifty 50s, the fake fast 35s, and all of those that are great. That would really work for the movie, but I decided I'm not going to do the T2i. The next thought was to get a GH2 hacked. GH2 is phenomenal. Will had one, who knows? He still got it, but he makes a beautiful image, and it's micro four thirds. And as you know, you can get a ton of micro four third lenses cheap, but it still has that issue. In post, I always felt like it just didn't have great color science, and I had to do too much to get it to look like I wanted it to look. My third choice was the Blackmagic Cinema Pocket Camera, the OG, the original one. Those jokers still go for $400 or $500, so that's my whole budget. But guess what? One day I was perusing Adorama used section, and I ran up on this bad boy. This bad boy is missing two things. One, the HDMI port. Well, I knew for this project I didn't need the HDMI port. Don't even plan to get it fixed. Why? Because in order to fix the HDMI port, you got to pull out the entire circuit board, motherboard, whatever you want to call it. No, not worth it. $165. The second thing was the spring was causing the battery not to lock in place. I can fix that. So I ordered it, got it in, fixed the spring, and now I have a perfectly working Blackmagic Pocket Cinema minus the HDMI port. $165. Next, now I got my camera, Micro Four Thirds mount. I can shoot in RAW. Woo! But I needed some lenses, right? To think about it, 16 millimeter, 1-inch sensor, Super 16 kind of thing. That means that, man, my multiplier from full focus, that lens conversion is going to be tricky. I was watching Potato Jet, and they said the movie 1917 was shot with two lenses, right? A 30 and 40 or a 40 and 50. I really think it was a 40 and 50. So I really wanted to have something that got me in that range between 40 and 50. I was on K, and this is going to hurt a lot of your souls, but I'm going to post the receipts because, like I said, I got receipts. They had two Mickey, whatever you want to call them, cinema lenses. One 16 millimeter T2.2 and the other, the 25 millimeter T2.2. One was 69-66, one was 64-32, and I bought both of them. And that's right, if you go online, you'll still see the pictures of them, but they're showing sold out because I own them. Blah, don't be mad at me. You'll get the whole breakdown of the prices. So now I am sized. I have one, my camera. Two, I got me some lenses. Here's something that I didn't put in my list, and I cheated a little bit. I needed ND filters. ND filters. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, how I fixed this solution. So, I got my lenses, my camera, number 3, stabilization. The first thing I know I wanted was a 3-axis gimbal. Why? Because the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema and the lenses have no stabilization. And I know you're like, come on, dude. Man, I'm on Adorama used, and they had a Pilot Fly H2. Yup, they still sell for over $300 new. But they had one for $79. $79. The problem was, and I got it back there somewhere. I can pull it out if y'all want to see it, but here's the receipt for it anyway. The problem with it was the 4-way joystick was missing, but it still had the inner workings. So I put my finger in, and it worked perfectly. You just have to notch your finger in instead of having the joystick on the outside. I will be honest, I ordered the joystick from overseas for $4. I didn't put it in my total because I'm not going to use it for this movie. Maybe I will, but that $4 I didn't include because that's a luxury. And in fact, I'm going to sell it once I get it because it's still worth $200. I'm a winner. So I bought that. I actually have it. I've tested it. It works perfectly. Next, I needed something when I didn't feel like holding it to place on the ground. Now, I didn't want to buy a tripod because I knew a tripod would take up a lot of my money. And I knew that I wasn't going to need it a whole lot. Plus, I knew for my audio, I needed a boom pole. So do I buy a boom pole and a tripod, or do I buy a monopod and make it into a boom pole? That's exactly what I did. I went back on Adorama, and I didn't even need to go used on this. I got an 8-case monopod, which was $9.99. And it comes with the case, and it has a screw attachment, quarter-inch screw attachment at the top that screws directly into most audio units that I'm considering getting. So now I have a monopod / boom pole for $9.99 and a stabilizer that works perfectly. Wow, folks, I'm rolling. So now I'm like, all right, I got my camera, my lens, my stabilization. Let me focus on audio. Now this is where it gets tricky, because I wanted audio that was good enough to be in a real film fest. A lot of people try to look at video mics and all of that stuff, but through knowledge, I knew that if I went that direction, I was going to run out of budget really quickly. So I went searching, and I got on Mercari, and I found me a Zoom H2. For all of you guys who have been around a while, you know Zoom H products are phenomenal. The mics are incredible. But back in the day, I used to use a Zoom H2 before I had a mic, because it had a nice quarter-inch thread on the bottom, and I could screw it into a a monopod, and make me a nice boom mic and have great sound. Mercari had one on there for $40. Here it is. I grabbed that up. And some of these things, I gotta be honest, I didn't grab up because I already had them in my warehouse, in my trunk, right? But I wanted to prove that you could just grab it up. So there's one for $40. It's probably still out there. Go check it out, right? So I got that, but I also noticed that it didn't have the windscreen with it. So I went on eBay and grabbed me a nice little windscreen for $6.71. It was a dead cat windscreen. I'm sure it will come in handy. I will use it. A lot of this film is outdoors, so it should be great. But the great part about the H2 is when I bring it back into the house, it's good for voiceovers, and that allows me to easily sync all of my sound. So now I have my audio. I'm gonna sync all of my sound in post. I got great video, got great lenses. What do I need? Number 5, I need my batteries. Blackmagic camera came with one lousy 20-minute lasting ELNE20, whatever that battery's name is, right? But the luxury of that is you can get them dirt cheap on Amazon. And sometimes the batteries that you buy now are no longer the 800, whatever they are, they're 1200, so they actually last longer than the battery that came with it. So I grabbed 2 of them and a charger, and that total price came to $19.99. I actually have it somewhere around here. $19.99, so it allows me to charge 2 at a time, and it gave me 2 batteries. So that's perfect. Now I have 3 batteries, so I can shoot at least an hour a day until this project is over. I also ended up going and grabbing a $4.99 pack of 12 batteries, AA batteries, to make that H2 work. So hopefully I should be good to go with my Zoom H2 and my cameras for batteries, right? Next, I needed memory, right? Or storage, depending on how you want to call it. I needed something to store all of my footage on. So one, I needed a card for the camera. I wanted to get something that was more than 32 gigs. So I went on Adorama, and they had the SanDisk Extreme Pro 64 gigs for only $19.99 on sale. It's still there. If you're watching this video, go grab it. That would work great for the camera. Once I fill up the 64 gigs, I'll just drop it down to a hard drive that I already own. So that wasn't a big issue for me. I needed one also for my Zoom H2. So I got me a Lexar 32 gigs. That 32 gigs should shoot my whole movie with no problem. That was only $6.99. Number 7, I needed lights. Lights consisted of 3 things. I wanted something that had a light that was dimmable and multicolored. Then I needed something that I could use as a soft box, or something just to soften my light up. And then I needed something as a reflector. Money was getting tight, so I went on Amazon and I found a 10-inch LED ring light, which I'm actually using for this video right now. And that light was $9.99. $9.99. Of course, I showed the receipts and the pictures. I also went to the dollar store. Now, here's the dopest thing. For my softbox, I got me a shower curtain, and I asked the store, could I use one of their boxes? They said no, but guess what? I had a ton of Adorama boxes at the house from all of the stuff I bought. So I took the shower curtain and I put the light inside of the box, put the shower curtain over the front of it, and guess what? Now I have a directional soft box that I can use for not just this project, but any other project. So I got my light, I got my soft box, and the next thing I used was another box I had. I cut out a square and I attached some white pieces of paper, just regular paper to it to use as a reflector. I tried it out, it worked perfectly. Man, I got a reflector, a light with the soft box. I'm ready to go. Like I said, most of my movies outside, I just needed something to assist with the lights that I have in my house when I'm shooting this movie. So those are the 7 categories. I'm going to run them back for you. I got my camera, I got my lens, I got my stabilization, I got my audio, my batteries, my memories, and all of my light. All 7 pieces. And that's the secret of making a professional looking movie. Is it going to be great? Of course, because my story is phenomenal. But I wanted to make sure I had the equipment to really set this story off. And guess what? Here's the total. I think the magic number comes out to about $496. You should see it on your screen. I will leave everybody with this. This is kind of an amazing put together solution that is not only dirt cheap, but going to be very hard to duplicate. But I wanted to show you that if you are patient, take your time, and you buy things, when you find a deal, you jump on them. Because some deals, it's too good to pass up. You will buy you can buy some amazing equipment at a low price. Everything doesn't have to look new. I'm going to beat it up anyway. It's $496. I might, if we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll give the whole set away. I'll give it away. I promise that. I don't know if we'll hit 10,000 subscribers anytime soon, but the day we do, I will give this set away because I believe that it's very easy to make this happen for you, for me again, for anybody that wants it. That's right. Hopefully this movie gets shot. Remember, I'm shooting this movie once we hit 1,000 subscribers. But until then, I hope this was entertaining. I hope you still are in disbelief that this could have actually been done. And throughout the series, you'll see all of the equipment that I talked about. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Kev Jones, one half of the Will and Kev Show. Until the next time, peace.